Artistic Gamer 7 and welcome back to the channel. Obviously, if you have, well, one, it's been a long time. I have a lot to say, like, really at the very beginning of this. One, it's been a long time. But if you are still around and you're like, oh wait, she's uploading again and you're seeing this, obviously this background looks different. That's because I'm in one of the living rooms instead, because I am watching the greenhouses still, but it's like slow enough that I can be inside. My cat is currently eating things that she shouldn't be eating. Stop it. um, so yeah, so I'm still watching, so if there's any abrupt like transitions or something, then that's probably why. Some of them I will be planning to end just so that the file footage doesn't get too big, because I am recording this also on my phone instead of my webcam, because if I recorded on my webcam, that means I would have had to drag up my whole entire PC. And I do have a laptop, but it's a very old laptop, and it's been struggling with a lot of things, so I didn't really want to like sit there and fool with it and see if I can download like stuff to record good quality like videos using my actual webcam and stuff like that. And my phone is pretty decent for videos and things like that, and even the sound is not too bad. But the one thing is I am dealing with natural light coming through on a really bright window right here, and then very, very dull house lighting, because it's a really old light, and it, like, at this point my dad smokes, so it's like a yellow tint on the light itself, so it's not the best of lights. So it's a little bit of a lighting thing, and I do apologize that my first video looks like this, but I do want to get things sort of going, and talk about why I've been gone. It's sort of a long story, and I'm going to shorten and condense in it a lot. Why is my cat wrecking? Well, she hasn't been doing this at all. I've been up here for like 2 or 3 days. I'm like working on shelves. If you see like little paint things, I'm painting and working on my little shelves for my figures and things like that while I'm up here. And she hasn't messed with anything. Now she wants to mess with everything. Cat. Anyway, so basically long story short, last year, I think there was like so much going on, sort of interior of me, if you get what I'm saying. Like, I know, like, one of my friends, I wasn't getting to hang out as much with them. The other one was moved away, so I wasn't really having, like, much interaction with people other than work and, family. And no matter what some people say, you gotta have friendships and stuff outside of family. And the work I was doing one job, sometimes I was only working by myself because I was the manager, and then I got another manager job. I had two manager jobs at the same time, which also was probably part of the problem. But and that one also sometimes had me working by myself until like the last 2 or 3 hours of my shift. So, other than customers, and a lot of times both of those places were really dead when I worked. I a lot of times worked morning shifts in both of them, except for occasionally I would work evening shifts, because if I worked both of them on the same day, one had to be a closing shift and one was an opening. So, except for those situations, I usually was opening at both of them, and it's pretty dead. So, I think a lot of it was just I didn't have as many people to talk to, so I started like focusing on YouTube a lot, but not in like the good way. The reason why I started doing YouTube videos in the first place was, one, because I just genuinely like making videos about games and stuff I liked, and I always wanted to share my Sims stories with people. Ironically, I'll get to it a little bit later with what I'm gonna plan on doing with Sims. That's sort of an ironic statement, but anyway, so yeah. And secondly was, if I can make one person out there smile that day when they were having a hard day, like a few people did for me, that was worth it. So that was the only reason, but I think I started focusing because like all I was doing was work, work, work no social interaction, then YouTube, and I was working a whole lot of hours. I wasn't having many days off, and the days that I had free time, it wasn't like free or whatever. So I think I started focusing way too much on like numbers and all this stuff, and it just started getting to me. And that was never what I wanted to do with my YouTube channel ever. So I think all that boiled down, and then usually I always have this weird funk that comes in August anyway. So the fact that all of this was there and then August came, so I like took a break in August and I tried coming back a little bit, but it wasn't too well, so I sort of took another break. I tried to come back in November, and then some other things happened, but slowly good and bad things were happening that were causing me to be more distracted. One of my friends moved. The one that has moved away, she moved back up, so I've been hanging out more with her. In November, I actually started a relationship, which is going amazingly, and so that was a new thing going on. At the end of November, my grandpa had also passed away, so it was sort of a lot just going on of positive and negative that was all doing all these different things. And then retail season, of course, is hitting right through, like heavy retail season, which both of my jobs were in retail. Both hit at all this same time, so it was just, I wasn't 100% focused. There was a lot of things going on, and I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna try to get used to how things are, take an actual break where like, because like for most of August and like into September and October, when I was taking like these mini breaks spurtedly and stuff, I still was thinking about, like, worried about it, and like actually like I need to try to record, but I just wasn't doing it. So I definitely, for most of December, well, all of December really, and most of January, I just focused on myself and friends and family and things like that. So I just, was like, let me take like a true actual break with everything that's happening. Let me get refocused, because whenever I want to go back, because I truly enjoy it, I want other people to enjoy it. I want to make at least a few people smile. Like, that's my goal. I want to actually be in a good mindset and in a good place before I fully start back, since it was so much chaos sort of going on beforehand. And if you follow me on Twitter, I'd also sort of slacked off on social media, and then I started tweeting about February, and I was planning on coming back in February. But a few things also ended up hitting me in February that just sort of delayed my thing. I was like, okay, it got like halfway through February, and I was like, I'll go for March. And then the coronavirus started happening, and I don't know if at this point they like go after videos, but I'm not monetized, so shouldn't matter too much for me anyway. But so yeah, basically I had gotten sick late January, early February. It was a weird sickness. Like, it wasn't like I was too bad, but I didn't feel 100%. And then my cat had gotten really sick right after. Like, as I was getting better and feeling like 100%, I noticed she started acting weird, and then eventually she wasn't really eating. She was losing a lot of weight, and I got really, really concerned. Apparently she had some sort of respiratory infection they couldn't fully figure out, because my cat is a maniac. When you take her to the vet's office, like, the vets are scared of her. She's a really sweet cat to certain people. Other people she's like about. She doesn't really care. She's not mean to you. She's not really rude to you or like mad, but she's not really sweet and loving to you either. And then there's like people like my sister and my sister-in-law that she for some reason just absolutely hates. Of course my sister does work at the vet's office, so that's probably why. But yeah, anyway, so that started happening, and then I finally started, like, keep in mind, I hadn't touched my computer since basically the last, like, towards the end of November. I had downloaded, I don't even think I downloaded University Life until like a month and a half after or so. I don't know, it may have been longer than that, I don't remember. Anyway, I basically was behind on things, my computer updating, Sims updating, getting other stuff in, checking the mods, all this stuff. And just a note for anyone who ever like is wanting to do YouTube and then decides to do a break. If your break ends up getting really long, before you start saying you're gonna come back, check your stuff and make sure it's all updated. I had to full with a lot of stuff to fix things and get things going. So that's why it went into March. And then in March, there was a lot of issues going on at work. Well, towards the end of February, beginning of March, because there was another store that is in our district that we're the closest store to, that their store manager was out on like hospital leave, like they had surgery and stuff like that, so we was having to help them out. So we were low on staff, they were low on staff, and it was a little bit chaotic. So we were definitely had like a lot going on there. And then the coronavirus did hit, and so all that happened, and I was like, well, and the greenhouse also started back up, and I was like, well, at least I'm not worrying about 2 jobs, but also some things that were said to me by a certain family member. I'm normally not a germaphobe or anything like that, but the way that they were sort of saying things to me and saying things about my dad and stuff, and that I'm gonna be, if I'm not careful, I'm gonna bring it back to him and stuff, it sort of started weighing on me, and I ended up having really bad anxiety through the ending of March, April, and a lot of May. I was on anxiety medication. I am not currently anymore. I had it for a little over 2 months, and it definitely helped. I still have like just in case medicine, but it's not like a daily medicine like I was on. So again, that was something else. And then greenhouse season, I was been super ridiculously busy this year. Everyone decided that they have to be planting gardens this year and making their flower beds look pretty. I guess because they had nothing else to do. I don't know, but it was busier than usual this year, which is a good thing for my dad, but stressful for us working in the greenhouse. But oh well, it's still a good thing. So yeah, all that was sort of going on. I could have gone into further details with all that, but that would have just made this video really, 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 really long. But basically, it is now in June, and I was like, sometime in June, I'm going to get things on the roll. And because of June slowing down, me being on unemployment, and eventually being on like actual employment, because my store is now closing down. They technically opened it. They started reopening my stores in most locations, the store chain that I was working for. And then come to figure out they were going to be filing for Chapter 11 bankruptcy, and now like so many stores are closing, and mine's one of the first ones closing, and it was on like a voluntary basis to even come back. So since it was the greenhouses and stuff like that, and I did want to sort of have time of my own, because the greenhouses is like every single day type of thing from 8:30 to like 6 something, but it's a family thing. So I help my dad because he's getting older, and I still feel like I should try to help as much as I could, and it's literally like it's a lot of work and somewhat crazy inducing work. But yeah, so I took the voluntary staying home to work basically. But then it's like, oh, we're closing, so I'm probably not going to put you back on the schedule except for maybe unless like I really, really need you for like a day or so. So I am still on unemployment, and eventually I'm going to be on like unemployment until I can find a job, and right now I don't really know how possible that is, so we'll see how that goes. But that presents me with good timing to get things rolling on my channel to the point that maybe I get to a more stable place. But yeah, so that brings me to the update on like the channel in general. I'm still going to finish Legend of Zelda. I'm still going to finish Tales of Berseria, so I don't know how many people are going to come back because I've been gone such a long time to watch those, but I am going to finish them, so anyone who starts watching it later on, or if you just happen to like mainly watch my Sim stuff and you're watching this, or you just stumbled randomly across me, You can go back and watch all the Legend of Zelda stuff and Tales of Berseria into one, and by the time you get caught up, probably you won't know there's a gap, really. Other than me saying in the beginning that it's been a long time, I probably forgot the controls. That being said, so they're coming back, and I'm planning on one third game sort of joining in. I haven't decided the game yet. I want it to be like on my Xbox, just so that I have PC, Switch, PlayStation 4, and Xbox going on at the same time, like one from each. So we'll see where that goes. Nextly is my Sim stuff. So with my Sim stuff, it was a major part of my channel and still probably will be. But starting off, I'm probably not going to be doing continuing any of my Let's Plays. If there's one in particular that you really want to see the ending to, let me know down in the comments below. But with the Sims Let's Plays, they were a big reason why I sort of got into YouTube in the first place, but I also just wanted it in games in general. So at the same time, they take a little bit more of the work compared to all the other ones, and to some degree, and I have to record them at certain times because my living situation versus some of the like cast stuff and the build stuff, I can record almost any time compared to a lot of the other stuff, and having to split equal enough time in between like Legend of Zelda, Tales of Berseria, and Sims, and all the stuff, and then editing, and I've just come to the decision, unless there's a particular Let's Play that is strongly requested to see the finish of, I'm probably gonna just let those Let's Plays end and be. Technically, I do have some episodes recorded of the Eevee family and the Forgotten family, technically to the end, so I will be posting those. So technically those series will be officially ended, and I am going to do maybe every once in a while little update videos, because I'm still going to be playing those families and stuff. So if there's certain families that you would like to see updates on more often, always feel free to comment those in any of my Sims videos, like, hey, can we have an update on like Vaporeon's family or whatever sometime soon. Anything like that on any of the Sims videos, and I'll keep an eye on those. So I will be doing like that type of stuff, but I mainly, for the first part, what are you doing, cat? Anyway, for the first part of me getting back into the swing of things, I'm just going to be focusing on Create Sim and speed builds. My cat is currently rolling like a ball on the floor, no joke. I taught her this, but I bet you if I turned this camera around, she'd stop doing it, because she does it every time. Every time I try to catch her on camera doing it, she stops. Anyway, so yeah, I will be doing those, and I already am planning on bringing back some more of the Pokemon cast sims. I actually started on a few of those already in the background, and I actually have a few speed builds already being started in the background as well. So I am going to be sticking with those, and I do want to still do the monthly collabs. I know that's a thing that I did, and I feel like I've messed up a few times on it just because of issues going on in my life, and I feel really bad that sometimes there's been at least 2 of them actually that they didn't get finished the way I wanted them to, or something like that, and I felt bad. I felt really, really bad about that. So, but I really like doing the monthly collabs. I like seeing the collaborative effort. I like seeing everyone in the community that joins the collab, how they interact with each other. They're always helping each other, and it's just a really nice thing, and I really enjoy them a whole lot. I do want to bring them back, but I think I'm going to wait until maybe August or September, more likely September, before I start bringing those back. So just to make sure I am getting in the swing of things, that August funk doesn't set back in. But I'm not planning on it to, so August, no. So yeah, so that's sort of a little update. I'm coming back sort of video for you all. And I know a lot of people probably are like, didn't even remember I existed. I still have quite a few subscribers, so I don't know if they're just subscribed because they considered me as a simmer friend, or they forgot about me, but I still have my subscribers for the most part. So thank y'all for staying in. If y'all are actually like waiting for me to come back, thank you. To those who forgot I was here but now are like, oh, okay, hi, hope you stick around. If not, that's perfectly fine, I understand. But yeah, I am back. I'm not going to be focusing on the numbers. I don't want to focus on the numbers, and I think that got to me that one time for a while there. But I don't want to focus on them. I don't want to like be like checking the subscribe. Like I might have like if I reach like a certain number, I might be like, oh yay, we did this or whatever. Emphasis on the we part because y'all would have helped me got there, but it's not going to be something I'm going to be like, oh, we have to hit this number. We have to hit this. Oh, we're so close to hitting this number. Oh, I just need one more person. Why don't one? If one person decides to subscribe to me to make that number, cool. If not, oh well. I'm not going to worry about that. I'm not going to focus on it whatsoever. I just want to do this for fun. I want to give people something to look forward to, something to enjoy, and hopefully something to make them smile at some point if they're having a bad day. So that is my whole point to all of my videos. Reason why I started YouTube. And I know a lot of things in the YouTube community has changed over the years from when I first wanted to do this, from when I first started, and all the paths along the way. I eventually had one channel, and then that channel still exists, but I don't do anything with it, and I switched to now having this one. So I know along the way a lot of things have changed for the channel and stuff, like the YouTube channels and things. So it's a little bit different and stuff, but the worrying about the numbers and like some of the things that a lot of the changes that are affecting people won't necessarily affect me because I'm not worried about the monetization. If it ever gets to a point I can do that, that's cool, but I'm not going to stress about it or worry about it as much because that's not my main goal for having a channel and making videos. But anyway, thank you for sticking around. Thank you. I hope you're looking forward to all the stuff that is to come. I really like doing the cast ones, and the fact that I have the most fun with the Pokemon ones just because it allows a lot of like creative freedom. So things along that line like Pokemon or like other creatures from shows and things like that. Who knows, maybe I can even try Digimon or something at some point. Something like that. I like those type of things, so I'm excited to do a lot of the cast stuff. I'm excited for y'all to see them, see how they turn out. I'll have a lot of builds that I've been doing in the background too that I'm also excited to finish and show you all as well. And I'm just really, really, really wanting to get back to Zelda. I've wanted to play Zelda again so bad for so long, but the fact that I was recording it and I was set that I was going to come back to the channel, I was like, I'm not playing it, I'm not doing it, not touching it, we're going to record it, we're going to do this. So I haven't touched it, and I want to play it so bad. So you bet, not too long after, like sometime this evening or tonight, I'm probably going to be recording some Zelda. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. Hope you're looking forward to what comes on the channel, and hope to see you again. Bye bye!